to Liverpool. I have to be honest, man. That has to be said, man. That is a very, very good deal. Did I expect Liverpool to be acquiring Ronald Araujo in this market? No, I'm more shocked, because I didn't believe that Barcelona would allow their captain to leave. I know Araujo has suffered a lot of injuries as well. Form and fitness has been an issue. But I think Liverpool, if I'm being honest, have played a blinder, man, with this deal, because I've always likened Ronald Araujo to, and as you guys can see in the title, the Uruguayan Virgil Van Dijk. And I know there's a few people that don't rate Van Dijk as highly, but to think that they've got Araujo, who's 27 years of age now, and you're more than likely going to see him partnering Virgil van Dijk. And even so as well, I do believe at times, he could be someone that does step in for Van Dijk as well. I do think that happens. And I think Liverpool, what are they in? I think Liverpool might be in the Europa League. They might be in Europa League. So again, I think it's going to be a case of rotation, but he's definitely going to be playing with Van Dijk. And what I want to ask a lot of you, big up to Babs One Diva as well. What I want to ask a lot of you is, where do you rank this partnership of Virgil van Dijk and Ronald Araujo in the Premier League now? Because you've got Van Dijk, obviously experience. He has dropped off a bit at 33, I think he might be now. Araujo, obviously, is the young one at 27. And again, man, Araujo is Barcelona's captain. So for Barcelona to allow Araujo to move on, it is surprising. It has to be said. It is surprising because I didn't see that happening. And, I wonder if Barcelona now go and get a replacement for him, or is it a case of them just loaning him out to prove his fitness and then they bring him back? Because as I said, he's only 27 years of age, so the fact that they've allowed him to go on loan is surprising. But I actually think Liverpool have done very well in terms of getting him in, because he's a player that I would have loved Manchester United to sign, a couple of years ago. I've always said, to me, when Van Dijk was in his prime, I said that, Araujo was up there as the top centre-backs in the world, and he probably has dropped off a bit, form and fitness, as we know. But, yeah, I think it has to be said, man, Liverpool have done some very, very good business, some very good business. And I think as well, this could be a signing that maybe, and again, don't get me wrong, yeah, Liverpool do still have to do more business in the window. But I think in terms of them losing Konate and getting in Ronald Araujo, who do you rate higher, Araujo or Konate? Because I actually think that I would prefer Araujo to Konate. I think Araujo, people have said that Araujo does have a mistake in him, but I think Araujo's more of a leader, and I think him, coming to the Premier League as well is actually, something that I've always wanted to see. So I think he's got all the attributes that fit the Premier League. Did I see it being Liverpool? I don't, but Liverpool, you have to say, have actually done some very good business in getting him in, Big up to Foxy Danny as well. What's this? A bit of a topic, but do you think football is being ruined? Because if someone like Musiala is doing what he's doing in Zidane's era, he'd be rated highly. Yeah, but listen, big up, man. What a lot need to realize, yeah, is that you see the era of football that we are in now, it's never been at its lowest. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that there ain't good players in football right now. That's not what I'm saying. But I think Musiala is a good player. But if you think of the hype that Musiala has been getting from his young ages, and obviously he had that massive injury as well. If Musiala was in Zidane's era, would he be getting a game? But that goes for a lot of players, because a lot of players in this era of football, personally, I just don't rate. You know what I'm trying to say? So it isn't just Musiala. There's a whole host of other players as well, innit? Big up to Fitz as well. So yeah, as I said, guys, I think most importantly, I think we are in an era right now, as I've said so many times, where You know, it's one of them things where we just don't see too many top footballers. You know, I think if someone wants to ask me how many top footballers there are in world football right now, you know, I'm probably saying in terms of elite players, I'd probably honestly say there's probably about 10 elite players, I would say. You know, and that is nowhere near enough. You know, again, everyone has different opinions, but for me, from the kind of players that I remember, I would say there's probably about 10 players in total that I look at as proper elite players. You know, it might even be less than that probably, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, just going back to Ronald Araujo, and guys, let me know if you're a Liverpool fan as well. Do you think that this could be a game-changing signing, or do you think it's an underwhelming signing? Because I actually do think this is a signing. I actually do think this is a good signing, man, for Liverpool. You know, yeah, big up, man. So yeah, let me know what you think of that signing of Ronald Araujo to Liverpool. Do you think that he's a player that could not only, you know, be one of the best defenders in the Premier League? You know, 'cause if I'm looking at the Premier League centre-backs now, with Araujo coming in, again, he's still got it all to prove. But I look at Araujo, you know, Virgil van Dijk, Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba, Mark Guehi, Josko Gvardiol, Ruben Diaz, Ezri Konsa, Matthias de Ligt if he can stay fit. That's 9 centre-backs, including Araujo. Do you think he could be in with a shout to be in the top 3, the top 4? Could he help Virgil van Dijk as well? Because as we know with Van Dijk, Van Dijk has been struggling. You know, he isn't the same. He has got a mistake in him as well. The guy's shit. We're hearing. I don't think Araujo's shit. I don't. I think in terms of the form that he showed when he first broke in at Barca, again, you could probably say that he has dropped off. You know, but I actually do think this is a clever signing from Liverpool. Yeah, and Fitz, this is what I was thinking. Yeah, the fact that Barca are loaning him, this is what I'm looking at as well, because they're loaning their captain. You know, and to think that if you look at Barca's centre-back options now, do Barca go in the market and go and get someone? Because they've got Pau Kabasi, Eric Garcia. You know, you got that Gerard Martin, who's a left back but can play left side centre back. You know, so they have got options there. So it is quite worrying to say that they're loaning their captain. But is it a case where they feel that they can get through the season without him and allow him to prove his fitness? Or is it a case where they're just saying, look, your time's up here, but we're going to allow you to go on loan? I don't know. Because let's say, for instance, yeah, that he has a good season with Liverpool. He's only 27, you know, and bringing him back to Barcelona at, 28 years of age, you know, you could be getting an Araujo, you know, in his peak years. You never know. So, as I said, it is surprising that they've actually loaned him. But could it be a thing of proving his fitness, you know? Because I think him coming to the Premier League, if he's going to suffer fitness worries in La Liga, he's only going to be struggling even more in the Premier League in that high intensity. So, you know what I'm trying to say, man? It could be that. But I'm going to stick out and say, look, I think it's actually quite a clever signing from for Liverpool, because I rate him highly. You know, he has dropped off a bit, as I said, but I do think you know, he could surprise a lot of fans, man, this season. I do think that, you know. So Barca eyed Bastoni from time ago. Yeah, listen, I like Bastoni, and I think Bastoni would be ideal for Barca to go and sign. You know, if you're thinking of the balance, you know, a left-footed centre-back on that left-hand side, and then you got Pau Kabasi, who's ridiculous, really, you know, and Pau Kabasi is only what? I think he's only 18 or 19. So if they go and get Bastoni, you know, then you could probably say that Araujo's, you know, his days are numbered at Barca. But you never know. I said to you, it could be a smart loan decision from Barca, as I said, because I don't believe there's going to be any buy option in the loan deal. You know, if there was a buy option, then you can clearly say that, you know, Barca are looking at moving him on and getting someone else in. So yeah, man, I think for a fact, you know, if there's no buy option in the contract in the loan deal, then that's telling me that they're just loaning him out so he can prove his fitness, and there is probably still hope that you know, he does come back. Someone's trash is someone else's treasure. I hear it. I hear it. That's a great quote, to be fair. That is a great quote. Bring Quansah and Williams back. Boy, bring Quansah and Williams. You might as well bring back Ozan Kabach. And what's the other guy they had that they got from Preston? I forgot his name. Is it Davies or something like that? They might as well bring him back. But look, Ronald Araujo is better than Quansah, and he's better than the Williams guys. So, yeah, listen, I think people that are not rating Ronald Araujo, I personally think it's a bit harsh, you know. But as I said, man, he's got it all to prove. And I'm looking at that centre-back pairing, yeah. And they got the young Jeremy Jacquet as well. You know, Jeremy Jacquet could be, you know, Lenny Yoro. Yeah, I've watched Williams. He's not great, man. He's not great. He's not Ronald Araujo, put it that way. But if you've watched him and you like him, cool, man. That's your opinion. But as I said, man, I've watched Williams, and yeah, he isn't the level of Ronald Araujo, unfortunately. But as I said, mate, if I've got zero ball knowledge, why are you here? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, why are you here? You're watching me. I ain't got a clue who you are. You know what I mean? It makes me laugh when people come and say this stuff. Like, if you think I've got zero ball knowledge, like, bounce. You ain't got to be here, man. It's that simple. Like, I ain't got a clue who you are. You know what I mean? What's your name? Raz Marley. I mean, what's that? You know what I'm trying to say? So, as I said, man, you ain't got to be here. Bounce. You know what I'm trying to say? We're having proper football talk here. Sorry, guys. I had to do that because you get people that want to infiltrate the chat, not bringing nothing positive to the channel, man. Like, these guys are odd. You know what I mean? But there you go. Why are you watching? It's odd. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. He's obviously a fan, guys, but let's just move past him anyway. But yeah, as I said, Ronald Araujo, 27 years of age. You know what I'm trying to say? Loan deal is yeah, it's telling me that if there's no option in there to buy, then he's gonna be he's definitely gonna be coming back, man, to Barca. I'll be surprised, you know. But Liverpool have done some good business there, man. I have to say, because to think that Liverpool have got Araujo, you know, the likes of Chelsea could have gone for him. I would have loved Manchester United to go for him, but again, if we are going to get a defender, it means someone has to move on, like Alessandro, for instance, and then you get a left-footed centre-back. And then you look at, what's his face? What are the other teams? You got City don't need one. I know. Do you know what? I'm actually surprised at, yeah? The fact that Saliba's out injured, I'm surprised Liverpool, Arsenal didn't go in for him. Because there's links to, they want Ezri Konsa, but again, Konsa's not leaving Aston Villa because Villa are going to price him out of a move. And again, he's in Champions League anyway. So I'm surprised Arsenal didn't look at Ronald Araujo. And again, is that a case of Ronald Araujo has dropped off that much? Or is it a case of, you know, they just don't see him as someone that's needed in their lineup? You know, because to think that Araujo, I don't think people are rating Araujo that highly, which I'm surprised at, if I'm honest. You know, because I do think he's good. Liverpool messed up by missing out on Mark Guehi. Yeah, but again, was Liverpool gonna pay Mark Guehi 300 grand a week? That's what you got to look at, because I think Virgil van Dijk is on about 300 grand a week. I think he might be on 300 grand a week or something like that, or he might be on more than that. So I know Guehi, if Guehi would have waited to the end of the season, then he could have commanded more money probably. But I think City paid a fee and gave him 300 grand a week as well. So I don't think Liverpool would have done that personally. But who knows, man? Who knows? What's this? Yeah, listen, Franco Baresi, man. Do you know what's actually mad, yeah? Is that when we was doing the, I think, was it the all-time Italian 11, myself and Fitz, yeah? I believe Baresi, it might be crazy, but I think Baresi passed away a day later, which is ironic, man. It's crazy. But I'm pretty sure he passed away a day later. You know what I mean? I could be wrong. But, yeah, listen, one of the great all-time Italian centre-backs, man. One of the great all-time centre-backs, for sure, man, for Italy and for AC Milan. And it's mad because a lot of these legends, man, are starting to pass, man, which just goes to show you, man, that, yeah, it's crazy, man, to think, innit? But, yeah, it is what it is, man. But, yeah, rest in peace, Baresi. But as we know, Italy do produce some serious centre-backs, man. So he passed away 3 days later. Okay, I'm pretty sure it was a day later. I could be wrong, but... So Williams now is better than Frimpong and Kerkez, even though Williams is a centre-back, Frimpong's a right wing-back, and Kerkez is a left-back. Boy, if you think that, then cool, man. If that's the knowledge of your level, then it is what it is, isn't it? But if you're talking about Reece Williams, you know, he was playing centre-back for Liverpool. Kerkez is a left-back and Frimpong plays right wing-back. That can play right-back. So, yeah, man. We'll have to move past that one anyway. But, guys, any Liverpool fans in here that think, you know, you would like to see... that you would like to see Araujo be signed on a permanent. Oh, so you're talking about Nico Williams, okay, from Nottingham Forest. But what does Nico Williams have to do with Ronald Araujo? Because Ronald Araujo is a centre-back that can play right-back. But Williams is a right-back that plays left-back for Nottingham Forest. So I don't know what Nico Williams has to do with... Ronald Araujo, which was the initial comment that you come out with. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything. Maybe you know. I don't know. By the way, thoughts on Leo Messi's father passing away? I didn't know that. What, Jorge Messi, yeah? Well, he passed away. Because I know his dad was his agent. I've not seen that, man. So, is there any confirmed reports? If anyone's got any confirmed reports, put that in the chat, guys, please. Because I've not seen that. I've not seen that. Yeah, that's mad. I didn't know that. But I mean, listen, if you're Messi's father, man, at least you got to witness, man, you know, your son being one of the greatest players of all time. You know what I mean? It's not a bad way to pass. You know what I'm trying to say? But yeah, listen, man. Oh, he died today. That's mad. So I've got Sky Sports News on now, and I can't see any breaking news. I know he's an agent, but just how, you know, massive Messi is, I thought they might have put that on there. But yeah, I've not seen that. Oh, a few hours ago. Yeah, I've not seen that on there. I've not seen that on there. But yeah, guys, any Liverpool fans, let me know what you think of Ronald Araujo. Do you think that he's someone? Is he someone that you think Liverpool might look at signing permanently? Because I think if he has a good season, you know, that should be something they look at. You know, because I look at centre-backs now in world football. I mean, who are they? Who are they, man? There's not many. You know, you look at PSG got Marquinhos and William Pacho. You're not getting them two out of PSG. Bayern Munich. You know what? Deo Upamecano comes in for a lot of criticism, yeah? But he was one of the best centre-backs in that World Cup. You know, and I think what I've seen of Upamecano, he plays better for France than he does for Bayern Munich. I'm not sure why that is, but yeah, no, he does play better. So you got, again, you're not going to get Upamecano out of Bayern Munich. Pau Kabasi, you're not getting him out of Barcelona. Who else is there? Real Madrid. Rudiger is wrong side of 30. Howson hasn't done well. Who else is there? Konate's just left Liverpool to go to Real Madrid. So again, how many top class centre backs in there that are available to get? There ain't really too many. So if I'm looking at the fact that Araujo is a new loan signing for Liverpool. You know what I mean? They'll do well, man, to try and hang on to him if he does prove. You know, unless Barca have something up their sleeves. If Barca go and get Bastoni and they've loaned Araujo and they're gonna bring Araujo back next season and have Bastoni, Araujo, Kabasi, you know, as their free centre backs, then it's good business. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, listen, we've spoken about Jorge Messi just passing just a minute ago. As I said, I'm quite surprised they haven't put it on Sky Sports News. You know, because whenever someone major passes away, it's always on Sky Sports News, and there's nothing up there at the moment. So I think the fact that he's an agent, but he's an agent of, you know, arguably, you know, the best player, one of the best players of all time, I'm surprised it's not on there. So, but yeah, man, R.I.P. man to Jorge Messi. You know what I mean? R.I.P. man, crazy. Guys, any other transfer news you guys want to discuss? Any other transfer news? I mean, I think we spoke about briefly about Rodri. Rodri going to Barcelona put a bid in, you know, and you know what it is, yeah? Because obviously my team's Manchester United, you know, but those of you that have been there for a while will know that, you know, my other team is Barcelona. Now, the fact that Rodri more or less has chosen Barcelona, yeah, I think is good for Rodri, because Rodri is going to suit Barcelona. I know it's not the Pep Guardiola Barcelona. You know, Hansi Flick does play in a different way, but I think Barcelona with the players that they have, the likes of Yamal, the likes of Pedri, obviously De Jong's out injured, Kabasi, Dani Olmo, you know, they've got players in there that want to play the way that Rodri plays. And if you put Rodri in that midfield, and you've got Rodri, Pedri, Dani Olmo, you know, if De Jong proves his fitness, he comes back, you know, you could have De Jong, Rodri, Pedri. They've got so many different options, you know. And you know what it is? I think it's clever if Rodri does go there, because I think if they sign Rodri and then they go and get a striker as well, whether they can get Julian Alvarez over the line, I think you're looking at a team there that will retain La Liga, and they might even get into a final of the Champions League as well. I think the Rodri signing will be massive, because he can control a midfield. And then again, you're looking at the striker's a must for me, because I see something on Sky Sports yesterday, yeah, and they're trying to put Barcelona's team of a front three of Rafinha, Yamal, and Gordon. Now, if that's the front three for Barca, that's not a frightening front three. You know, taking Yamal, putting Yamal to the side. Rafinha for me had a great season for Barca, but he's got injury issues. And again, he's a bit in and out at times as well. And Anthony Gordon, for me, I'm still surprised that Barca signed him. I can see the thinking behind it. But I look at Barcelona and I think they need that number 9 striker, you know, or someone that can play the false 9. Anthony Gordon, of course, can play through the middle, but I think we're all of the opinion that Anthony Gordon was bought to play on that left-hand side as the replacement for Rashford. But yeah, he can play through the middle, and he might actually play there at times. But Barca need to go and get a number 9 for sure, man. For sure. You know. Your second team buying a City player must be conflicting. Yeah, listen, Fitz, man. Listen, whoever Barca decide to sign is none of my business. You know, I just like the way that Barca. Again, Barca have two of my favorite players playing for them right now. You know, Yamal and Pedri. They're two of my favorite players. So this is why I follow Barca. But I follow Barca from years. You know, the days of Javier Saviola. You know, Patrick Kluivert, Rivaldo, Messi, Neymar, Iniesta, Busquets. You know, they've had some serious players, man. Probably a few more that I've even forgotten. So that's where the love comes from, man. R9, of course, you know. So yeah, man, listen. I've always followed Barca, and if they go and sign a City midfielder, it is what it is. As if put this way, yeah, Rodri leaving City can only be good for Manchester United. Because if Rodri was to stay at Man City, he's gonna continue to make them stronger, regardless of them losing Pep and a few other players. So yeah, listen, if he goes to Barca, then it is what it is, you know. Yeah, United playing today, guys, against PSG. I expect United to probably win that game. Not because they're better than PSG, but because, again, a lot of PSG's players are not really back. And again, if they are back, they're not really going to play too much. They're not really going to have too much game time. So I'd expect United to, to edge that game. Well, I say edge the game. United could probably win that game 2-0, 3-1, something like that. And that's only because United are going to have players that are more fitter than what PSG have. Because a lot of PSG's players are either not back yet or have just come back. So, yeah. Thoughts on Lukaku to Fenerbahce? Yeah, I mean, you know what? Turkish football, man, they must have some serious money out there because Mason Greenwood's out there. You know, you got John Duran, who's there as well. No, John Duran's not there no much. He's in Benfica. He was there. Obviously, Mo Salah's gone there recently. I think there's been a few other players as well. And if Lukaku goes there. So, yeah, there must be some serious money out in Turkey, man. But, yeah, no, thoughts on Lukaku going there? Yeah, I mean, it's not really a surprise. It's not a surprise. I think Lukaku's days, you know, playing for the top teams is done now. I think we all know that. So I think his next, if he does leave Fenerbahce, or if he does go to Fenerbahce, his next move from Fenerbahce, it might be a Saudi, it might be an MLS thing, you know, because again, these kind of players now, they're gonna find themselves playing in them sort of leagues now, you know. It would not surprise me if Madrid come back in for Rodri. Yeah, but again, I don't think it matters if Madrid come back in for Rodri. I think Rodri's chosen Barcelona. And as I said before, Rodri, for me, it's ideal for him to go to Barcelona because Rodri's not going to suit the way that Mourinho wants to play. You know what I'm trying to say? And I think Madrid haven't really been pushing for Rodri as much as you probably expected. And the fact that there was nothing concrete there is because Barcelona came in. And I didn't see Barcelona. I didn't see Barcelona coming up again, going in for Rodri. I didn't see it. So the fact that Rodri, yeah, could be heading to Barcelona, and I do believe Rodri wants that move as well. You know, going back to Spain, the guy's won everything in the game there is to win, individually, and club wise, and international wise. So him going back to Barca, you know, I'm not sure how much they're going to pay him. I think City would probably pay him more than Barca, but maybe he wants to go back to Spain. And if he goes back to the team that are the current holders of La Liga, and then he can play his part in helping them get to, or helping them win the Champions League, it's ideal, man. So yeah, Rodri is in a very good position. Put it that way, very good position. But I think the fact that he's probably chosen Barca, I can see Madrid backing off. And let's not forget as well, you know, Rodri used to play for Atletico Madrid. You know, so whether that comes into it as well, I know other players have done the same thing. playing for Atletico and then moving to another team. But let's see what happens, innit? Let's see. Big up to Foxy Danny says, Gav, what's happened to Jack Grealish? So yeah, Jack Grealish is back at Man City because he was on loan, if you remember, to Everton. And there was talk about Grealish. There was talk about Maresca, because I think Maresca and Grealish might have a good relationship. So there was talk about Maresca, you know, reintegrating him back into the Man City. However, I think if Pep would have stayed, I don't think Grealish would probably be there. Because I think him and Pep, I think that race kind of run its course, innit, you know? But I think he's back at City. But maybe it might have to be a permanent sell or it might have to be another loan. Because I actually think, yeah, I could be wrong, yeah, but I think Grealish might be on 300 grand a week at City. But I'm not sure how long he's got left on his contract. So whether he gets reintegrated back into Man City's team, I don't know. But I'm a massive fan of Jack Grealish. You know, I've been having this back and forth, you know, with some people on Twitter about talent, yeah. And this is a guy that you would say has real talent, you know, someone like Jack Grealish. So as I said, I think it might be another loan deal. Who knows? But as I said, man, he's a top player, and wherever he ends up, man, I think he's gonna strengthen whatever team he goes to, because as I said, he's a top footballer, man. And when you're a top footballer, you can only benefit at any team that you go to, innit? But I would, if he does stay at Man City, in my opinion, he makes them strong. But Man City have got Savinho who wants to go, and they've got Semenyo, Doku as the only wide players, really, yeah. And I don't rate Semenyo. I think Semenyo is typical of what the Premier League is. Someone that's an athlete that has physicality. And then you've got Doku. I'm not a massive fan of Doku, but to be honest with you, Doku has improved. You know, he has improved. But if you're Man City and you're going into the new season with Doku and Semenyo as your wide players, personally, I don't think that's good enough. You know, and this is why Maresca is looking at Pedro Neto of Chelsea, even though I don't think Pedro Neto is that good either. But he's got pace. You know, Maresca had him at Chelsea, so they could be looking at him as someone that could fill that void. But I'd like to see Savinho be given more time, really, you know, if I'm honest, because Savinho is a very good player. But obviously he wants out because he wants more game time, which you can understand, you know. Grealish to Man United. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Again, would you guys take Grealish? If you're a Man United fan, yeah, would you take Grealish at Man United? Because personally, I would. I would definitely take him. But we all know that's not going to happen, you know. But I would take him. Thoughts on Van der Ven signing a new contract for Spurs, and thoughts on Rooney joining Man City. Yeah, I mean the Geronimo Rooney one, Argentina international. I mean that's a no. I mean I say it's a no-brainer, but that's not really a surprising one because they got 40 million for Trafford, you know, which is great business really for City, and obviously Rooney's gonna come in as a backup keeper to Donnarumma, which it's just common sense. It's a common sense move, really. Because if you actually remember, Geronimo Rulli was the backup keeper to Emiliano Martinez in the World Cup, you know. And as I said, he's coming from Marseille where he was first choice. And him being backup to a team that will be competing on all fronts, if that's probably what he wants to do, innit? So, as I said, yeah. Yeah, it's a common sense signing, put it that way, you know. So it's not really a surprise. Mickey Van der Ven signed a new contract. I think that was always going to happen, really, because I always said, you know, he's suited to Barcelona. Because if you think of Barcelona and that high line, he's got pace to burn. So he would definitely help Barcelona's back line. But I think the fact that Christian Romero's moving on, you know, they were never going to sell Romero and Van der Ven together. So the fact that Romero's going and Atletico are in for him, yeah, it makes sense to give Van der Ven a new contract. And you never know, you know, he could, because I think he'll probably be the captain now as well. Because if you remember, Romero was the captain and Van der Ven was vice captain. So Van der Ven probably becomes a new captain, which means, you know, he's going to have more responsibility. And, you know, under the Zerbi, you know, it could be a new sort of era that they might go into. You never know, innit? So yeah, man, it could be that. It could be that. Yeah, it could be that. So so Barcelona has only offered City 50 million euros, and I think City would like close to 100 million. Yeah, that's incorrect though. That's incorrect. City don't want 100 million. City don't want to sell Rodri. They don't want to sell Rodri, yeah, because again, Rodri will probably be their captain as well. He'll probably be their captain. He's obviously looking for a new contract. But the facts are, he's got 1 year left on his contract. So if Barca are putting in a bid, you know, yeah, 40 million was never realistically going to get Rodri, because Rodri's just come off the back of winning a World Cup. He's won every trophy there is to win in the game, individually, internationally, and club-wise. You know, he's arguably the best, well, top 3 centre midfielders in the world. And again, Man City don't want to sell him. But if you've got a player that doesn't want to sign a new contract, you've got to make a decision. And the facts are, they're not going to ask for 100 million because they know that no one's going to pay 100 million for Rodri. So I reckon it could be closer to 60 million. You know, it might be a case of 45 million or 50 million and then plus add-ons City will take if Rodri indicates that he doesn't want to stay. But they're not going to get 100 million for him, and City don't want 100 million for him. That isn't true. Yeah, that isn't true. But and yeah, as I said, Rodri has one year on his contract. He's 30. Barca have actually increased their offer. The initial offer was 45 plus 5. And yeah, as I said, so I reckon it goes up to 50 million. So it'll be 50 million. Yeah, 50 million, I reckon, and plus add-ons, which will probably get him. But there's no way that no one's going to pay 100 million. That's not how it works. And again, you wouldn't pay 100 million for a guy that has 1 year left on his contract. You know, City fans would much prefer Rodri to leave on a free transfer, which means they keep him for another season. But then, as we know, football's business. And if he doesn't sign new contracts, City will probably think, well, let's cash in on him and get something for him. It's just that, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? So that's what I think happens. You know? But as I said, guys, I think the Ronald Araujo one, going back to Ronald Araujo, is clever business, man, I believe, for Liverpool. It's clever business because I just didn't see that happening. You know, and, you know, Manchester United, you know, I think United, for me, I would have liked United to, even if United would have inquired about Araujo on a loan deal, even though I don't particularly think, you know, we probably need another defender unless someone goes out because, again, Lenny Yoro, De Ligt's been injury prone. Maguire's there. Heaven, Martinez is still there as well. As I said, I think it's one of them things for me where, you know, it was Man United were never gonna look at a deal, but you know, he's someone that I would have liked Man United to sign, you know, a few years back. But yeah, Liverpool have to be commended on what they've done, man. Has to be said, you know. And again, just basing on the Rodri one as well, yeah, it's the same thing with Lisandro Martinez, yeah. I believe Lisandro might have a year or two left on his contract. Now, Lissandro would probably like to sign a new contract at Man United, yeah? But Man United would be reluctant to give him a new contract because his injury issues and the fact that he might want more money as well. Now, what Man United have to look at is the fact that you've got Aiden Heaven, who at 19 years of age, you know, is showing that he has the right to be starting games for Man United, you know. So if they're looking at him as being, you know, someone that can rival Martinez already and possibly be the future as well, do Man United give Martinez more money with the prospect of, if you're going to give him more money, you're more or less saying he's going to start games? Or do they look at it and say, look, he has been injury prone, Heaven is coming through and has already shown that he's got what it takes to be starting more games? Is it worth cashing in on Martinez for that exact reason? This is where, you know, it's similar. And again, if Man United do cash in on Martinez, they're not going to ask for 100 million. You know, so these are the kind of things that, you know, have to be looked at, really. You know, so it's similar to the Rodri one. You know, Man City are going to much prefer, you know, not the fans, but the club, them as business owners, they're going to much prefer them getting something for Rodri if it means that Rodri has indicated to them that he wants to leave. Whereas the fans will probably look at and say, we don't care if we get nothing for him. He's a top player, which, again, is understandable, you know, is what it is. Yeah, guys, make sure we're smashing them like buttons as well. We got 10 likes at the moment. Again, if you haven't hit that like button, make sure you do. And, yeah, make sure you sub as well if it's your first time in there. So, yeah, let me know, guys, if there's any more transfer news. Let me know if there's any more transfer news that you guys want to discuss. Big up, man. Oh, yeah, and big up to everyone coming through yesterday. The ones that came through yesterday. Obviously, I done something a bit different, you know, so I just took it back. I put the football boots back on. Again, I haven't played football for about a year now. You know what I'm trying to say? So I ended up putting the boots back on yesterday. Just doing something little, you know, so... yeah, big up to everyone that came through yesterday, man, and was there at that stream. Big up to yourselves. Will finishing in the top 6 qualify as success for Carrick? Nope. Nope. It wouldn't. And I'll tell you why it wouldn't, yeah? Because Michael Carrick has come in and got Manchester United 3rd place. He got 3rd place with no signings. And the way it was looking under Amorim, you know, we was looking at a bottom half finish. Because there's no way that we were going to finish in the top half under Ruben Amorim. I'd argue that with anyone. And as I said, man, I think with Michael Carrick, the minimum is 3rd place. It is. And I know people out there are frustrated with United's transfer window. But I'm still going to remain confident and optimistic, yeah, that we do get more signings through the door. You know, so what I would say, yeah, is I don't believe Manchester United can be looking at this as anything less than 3rd place. Because I look at all the teams right now, yeah, and the only teams you would probably say that have the possibility of finishing ahead of Manchester United is the obvious ones in Arsenal and City. Arsenal have got the longest reigning manager in the Premier League right now in Mikel Arteta. City are still City, even though they've lost a lot. They've lost Pep. They've lost the experience of John Stones and Bernardo Silva. And they could lose Rodri. I think if they lose Rodri, it could be a top 4 battle for Man City next season if they lose Rodri. Because I think Rodri is that massive. He's that big. So if they lose Rodri, you know, there's been talk about them getting Enzo Fernandez in to replace him. Again, Enzo Fernandez is not Rodri. Even though he's a good player, he's not Rodri. So if they lose Rodri, they're in a top 4 battle. So just based on that, and Man United have made some clever signings, you know, with the potential to still get more in as well. I'm going to say 3rd place is a minimum for me now. 3rd place. I'm not looking at top 6. I'm looking at 3rd as a minimum. Again, you've got Chelsea 1 game a week. That'll be threatening that. But I don't really rate Chelsea like that. They've got some good players. But I believe in what United are doing at the moment, man. And as I say, I just hope that I'm going to still stay positive that we still get business done, you know. Has Gav played any soccer in the past year? I haven't. That's what I said earlier, man. So I put the boots on back. Yes, I put the boots on for the first time in the year yesterday. Just done something little, you know, which is up on the channel now. And again, if you're a member, then you'll be able to see that. But yeah, listen, I think for myself, man, it's to let me know that I've still, like, even as something as simple as I was doing, is to let myself know that, you know, which I knew anyway, that I can still go back to doing things that I used to do comfortably after not having played for about a year, you know. Big up to Clockenders, says Bruno Guimaraes. Yeah, listen, man, I knew you'd be excited on that one. As I said, man, big up for the super chat as well. So yeah, listen, Bruno Guimaraes is actually a very good signing for Arsenal. It's a very good signing. I think paying 75 million for Bruno Guimaraes, I mean, yeah, I think based on what he's done in this league, the fact that he's going to be bringing the leadership, and he suits Arsenal like a glove as well, you know, because the way Arsenal play, you know, Bruno's like that. He's got shithousery in him. You know, he's a passion merchant as well. And, you know, he's got that scumbag in him as well. So I think the fact that Arsenal have identified him, it's a no-brainer signing, really. It's a no-brainer because, as I said, man, I think he's going to suit into their midfield properly, yeah? And what I would say as well is that it's going to be very interesting now to see how Arteta lines up his midfield. Because when you're spending 75 million on Bruno Guimaraes, there's 2 positions in that midfield that are taken up now. You've got 75 mil on Bruno Guimaraes. You've got 100 million on Declan Rice. That's 2 positions there taken up. And now, again, obviously, you're going to look at Arsenal are going to play a lot of games. But their best lineup is going to be Guimaraes and Declan Rice. Now, the number 10 becomes interesting because is it going to be Odegaard, the captain? Is it going to be 60 million Eze? Which means the Zubimendi signing makes no sense. It makes no sense now, the Zubimendi signing. It's a waste of time, really. And then you got Lewis Skelly, who was starting games come the end of the season. What does he do now? Does he think that it's time for him to move on? Because left back, you've got Hincapié, you've got Calafiori. You know, you just spent 34 mil on Hincapié. You know, you spent money on Calafiori. So Lewis Skelly now, realistically, doesn't really have a pathway in the first team. And at his age now, he needs to be playing regular football. So does he move on? Mikel Merino, what happens to him? Because he's actually a midfielder, but has shown his best qualities as a false 9. And he's probably actually your best false 9 as well. So again, although Arsenal, yeah, are strengthening their lineup or their squad, there might be some players now that might be disillusioned with what's going on. So, you know. I heard we're still signing an injured Baleba. Listen, as I said before, yeah, the Baleba one, the only reason why the Baleba one hasn't happened because United have identified Baleba as a long-standing target anyway. The Baleba one's not happened purely because of the price. It's the price, obviously, of course, and people can say that he's low down in the list, etc. He can well be low down in the list, but if Brighton lowered their stance in the price, he would already be a Man United signing. He would be, because United have identified him from ages ago, But you guys already know that my first choice is Eduardo Camavinga, and as I said, I don't know who Man United are going to sign. I don't know. I believe they're working behind closed doors for a signing, but we don't know who that's going to be. We don't know who that's going to be. So I'm just looking at it right now as let's just wait and see, man, because the fact that we got Tielemans for 35 mil release clause, and the fact that we've got Andre Santos, these are good signings for Manchester United. They're very good signings. So we have to just wait and see if United have got another one in the pipeline. So that's what it is, isn't it? City are getting Buwadi. He's a phenomenon. Listen, Buwadi's a very promising signing. He's only 18, but I'll tell you this for free, yeah. You ask any Man City fan, sorry, yeah. If Rodri goes, and you're gonna have a midfield two of Buwadi and Elliot Anderson, are you confident of doing anything in the Champions League or the Premier League? That's the main question that I want to hear, because listen, Buwadi's got potential, but he's never played in the Premier League for one. Yeah, Elliot Anderson cost 116 million. He's gonna be under pressure, yeah, to fill the boots if Rodri goes, because that's what's gonna happen. The fact that Elliot Anderson now is there and Rodri might go, there's gonna be no sort of patience. There's gonna be no sort of, oh, let's see what Anderson can do. Anderson has to hit the ground running straight away. He has to hit the ground running straight away, because especially if Rodri does go. If Rodri stays, I believe, even though Elliot Anderson cost 116 million, I think there might be some sort of leeway with him. But the facts are, if Rodri does go, Elliot Anderson needs to hit the ground running straight away. So the pressure will be on. So this I'm trying to say to you. So again, if you're a City fan, is Buwadi and Elliot Anderson acceptable as a midfield pairing with the loss of Rodri? Because again, you got Reinders as well. Reinders has been linked to Nottingham Forest. And again, does Maresca play a midfield three to get Reinders in there? Or does he go with a double pivot and play a 10? Because that 10 for me has to be Ryan Cherky. So again, what happens to Reinders? Because I don't think you can play Reinders. Well, I don't think. You can't play Reinders in a double pivot because of Reinders is too attacking for that. So these are all the things, man, that City have to answer. Let's see. Mate, Man United are bang average. Boy, I mean, if you've got anything else to add to that, then just that little sentence, then by all means. Listen, do I think Man United are bang average? I mean, what's bang average? Like, how do you determine bang average? Because I don't know how you determine bang average personally. Like, if I'm looking at a team that's bang average, I'm looking at a team like who's bang average in the Premier League? Trying to think now. Who's bang average? You might say, I don't know, Ipswich Town might be bang average. So again, we're not bang average, are we? Again, I think Everton are probably... I don't think Everton are bang average. You know what I'm trying to say? But this I'm trying to say to you, what is bang average? Because to me, that's just talk. To say Man United are bang average, like, it's just nonsense, isn't it? If you're going to say Man United are, you know, they're a good team that needs a lot of improvement, then cool. But yeah, there you go. Define bang average. That's my point. Define what bang average is. Because to me, that's just chat, you know. And again, you're someone that's just coming with bare negativity, man. So I don't know where it's come from. You know, maybe you're having a bad day. I don't know. But every comment you've come out with is just slating someone. You know what I'm trying to say? It's odd, you know. Chelsea 1-0 up against AC Milan. João Pedro. Listen, João Pedro, man, very good player. Very good player. Yeah, Ras has been on one. I don't know what's happened, man. I don't know what's happened to Ras. He has been on one. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, man. Maybe he woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I don't know. You know. So we're a good team that needs investment. I hear it, but if Man United come out of this window, yeah, let's say for instance, yeah, we've got Andre Santos and we've got Yuri Tillemans as the two signings. If Man United come out of this window and we sign, let's say for argument's sake, Camavinga, Lewis Skelly, let's say this, yeah. Let's say Rashford stays, because if we all know if Rashford stays, we're not getting no left wing signing. So let's say Rashford stays, and we come out of this window with Camavinga, Lewis Skelly, and I don't know. Let's say Beleba or another midfield signing. Where do you rank United finishing? Because I know a lot of you are saying top 6, yeah. But if we have the team that we have now, but we get 3 extra signings, which is 2 central midfielders or a centre mid, a left back, and or 2 centre midfielders or a left back, where do you think United finish? Because I think as it stands right now, with what we've got, I don't see no reason why it's still not 3rd for me. Because yes, we've lost Casemiro, but we've replaced Casemiro really with a player in Yuri Tillemans, who is experienced in this league and is one of the best midfielders in the league, and someone in Andre Santos that will change the way that we can play as well. So again, in a sense, we've lost Casemiro for his leadership, his quality, his clutch goals, but we've gained 2 players which are going to offer something a bit different, but one of them has already played in this league for a while. So for me, I would have to say it's still 3rd, really. It's still 3rd. What makes me think that United could go closer to challenging, you would have to say Arsenal, because they're the current champions at the moment. Don't know how. I think we do know how, actually. And let's say City is the extra 3 signings, but who it's going to be. Because I'll tell you this now, yeah, if we get Camavinga, I'm optimistic that with what we've got already, I'm not going to say we're going to win the league, but we could challenge if we get a Camavinga. Then if you think that we get a Camavinga and then we get a left back, if it's not going to be Dorgu, all of a sudden it starts to look promising. You know what I'm trying to say? With what we've got already. You know, and how Carrick wants to play. So, yeah, these are the things, man. These are the things. So, let me know what you think, guys. Listen, Joe Ross, man. You know what you got to do, man. If you want your comments read out, you know what you got to do. Because You know what bet that you made the other day, and one thing on this channel, man, you got to stick to it. And if you don't stick to it, listen, we have to ignore it. Man United got rid of a lot of good players in the past when it was the manager that made them play poorly. Okay, I don't really understand that one, but Man United ain't finishing higher than Liverpool, City, and Arsenal next season. Yeah, but what's that based off? Is that just your opinion, or because it's not a fact, is it? You know what I'm trying to say? I'll tell you one thing though, yeah. The fact that Liverpool are looking at getting Araujo on loan, they're looking at Ibrahim Mbaye. I would love Ibrahim Mbaye, by the way, at Manchester United, because I think he's going to be special. He's only 18 years of age, but I think he's ready to go right now. And he's only leaving PSG for obvious reasons, because we know what PSG have and who they're trying to get in as well, which, you know what I mean, is going to suit what they're doing. But if Liverpool get Araujo, Mbaye or Barcola in, I'm not saying that they're game-changing signings, yeah, but it's gonna strengthen them. So all of a sudden they could be challenging for Champions League places with those signings, you know. Again, I can't remember if Liverpool are in Europe. I think they might be in Europa. So yeah, you never know, it could happen. The right manager is just as important as the players recruited, if not more. I agree. I agree. I agree. And this is why, if you actually remember, when it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or Michael Carrick that were rumoured to be getting the interim, yeah, for me, it was important that it was Carrick, purely because I'm looking at the way Carrick played football, and I'm looking at the fact that just the way that he plays football, I want him to have that vision at Manchester United, you know. And you can clearly see with the players that we've signed, we're looking at playing some serious football. Now, again, does Carlos Baleba, someone like him, fit into the way that Man United want to play football as it seems under Carrick? He doesn't really, yeah, but he offers qualities for me that I do think you should have as part of your squad. This is why I'm looking at Camavinga, because Camavinga can play, you know, in a way that Carrick wants to play for me, but he's also got that, you know, he's got that press resistant, he's got that the legs as well to get around the pitch. He's got those in abundance in his game, which is why, you know, for me, he's a must signing. But yeah, having the right manager with the way that, you know, a team wants to play is important. It's important for me. And this is what I'm trying to say to you. The fact that Carrick was the kind of player that he was, you know, he's only going to try and sprinkle that onto his team, which is why when he came in and he adapted to the players that he had there and the way that he saw fit in getting the job on a permanent basis, it shows what a good manager that he is, because he's identifying, you know, what's needed to get over the line. He's now got over the line with United. So now he's gonna try and put on what he sees fit in a kind of style of play for his team. So yeah, I rate it, man. 100%. 100%. I rate it. You know. 6 if we don't spend. So what? Who are the 6 teams better than United if we don't spend money? Who are the 6 teams better? Because we can always go through their team, innit, and see. Gav, I prefer the static camera. Yeah? I'm glad you do, man. I'm glad you do. Guys, who prefers the static camera? Who prefers it? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. I'd love to get you guys feedback. What do you prefer? A static camera or a camera that moves with me? What do you reckon? What's this new camera, Gav? So have you guys heard of a gimbal? Have you heard of a gimbal? So yeah, I got myself a gimbal, man. I invested in that the other day. So yeah, man, it's good. It literally's got a tracker on it, so it follows you wherever you go, really. Obviously to a certain point, you know. But yeah, listen, man. So look, whenever I'm moving, it moves with me, as you can see. So if I move down there, it goes as well. If I move up, so yeah, it's just good, man. For me, it's good. I like it. I do like it. They got Arsenal's squad depth on the TV right now. Let me see this. So Arsenal got Raya, Arrizabalaga, Ilya Meslier as the three keepers. Timber and White at right back. Calafiori and Hincapié at centre back. Saliba and Mosquera as the two right-sided centre backs. And interestingly, yeah, the only position they have one player for is Gabriel Magalhaes. You know, all right, cool, man. What, you guys prefer me to be stationary then for this stream, yeah? Let me know, man, and I can turn it off. Let me know in the chat, guys. Do you prefer me for this stream to be static? Let me know. Okay, don't mind, Gav. Both is okay. Yeah, big up, my guy, man. Big up, Exedra. Big up yourself. Yeah, man. All good. All good. You guys watching the United PSG game today? 4 p.m. kickoff. Exedra, you know what? Yeah, I actually like Araujo. I actually like him. For me, he as I said, as you guys can see in the thumbnail, yeah, he's the Uruguayan Van Dijk. And I know there's a lot of you that there's a few of you that don't really rate Van Dijk, but he's someone that Araujo is someone I wanted United to sign from years before. You know, I actually think he's a very good player. You know, but yeah, just going back onto this Arsenal squad depth, yeah. So yeah, they got three keepers: David Raya, Kepa, Ilya Meslier. Two right backs: Urian Timber, Ben White. Two left backs: Calafiori and Hincapié. Two right-sided centre backs: Saliba and Mosquera. They've only got the one left-sided centre back, so do they go into the market for another one? But again, Calafiori is actually a centre back, the same with Hincapié, and they both can play left back, so they'll look at that as being covered. You've got Bruno Guimaraes, Luis Skelly, and Marino as the three centre midfielders for the right side on here. The left-sided ones, you've got Declan Rice, Zubamendi, and Ethan Nwaneri, who's rumoured to be leaving. The 3-10s, Martin Odegaard, Eberechi Eze, Max Dowman. Two right wingers, Bukayo Saka and Noni Madueke. The two left wingers, Martinelli, Christoph Zolis. And then the three strikers, Havertz, Victor Gyökeres, and Gabriel Jesus. And again, Jesus is rumoured to be going to Napoli, yeah? Now, again, I look at that Arsenal squad depth on the TV right now, yeah? And again, people will probably disagree, especially if you're an Arsenal fan, yeah? But for me, I look at numbers. I look at numbers. And I look at a lot of players there for me. I don't think there's not one world beater in that team. And this ain't me saying, you know, you're a hater of Arsenal, whatever it is. If you hate Arsenal, then that's your opinion. I could care less, yeah? But what I would say, I look at that as, for numbers, it looks very good, yeah? But a lot of the players there are just good Premier League players. I'd be more concerned, yeah, if it was a case of they've got special players there. I don't look at one player there that's special. I look at players there that are in a good system, in what Arteta. Well, when I say good system, yeah, a system I mean that, you know, does protect that back line with the way they set up. Yeah. So again, if people want to say Gabriel's one of the best defenders in the world, for Arsenal, you could probably say that, but for Brazil, you kind of saw how he got exposed for Brazil because he's not playing the Arsenal system that protects the back line. You know, William Saliba, I think, is a good defender, but again, he's out injured at the moment. I rate Urian Timber. I do think Timber's good, but again, how is Timber going to come back from his long-term injury? Mosquera, the jury's out still for me. Ben White is not better than Timber, but he's probably a good squad option. Hincapié is aggressive, and I think Hincapié is actually good. Probably better at centre-back. Calafiori has good quality on the ball, but again, am I looking at him as a standout? Not really. I just think he's got good quality on the ball. Bruno Guimaraes is a very good signing for Arsenal. He is, and he brings the leadership to their team. You know, he brings that winning, well, I say winning mentality. I think he brings that passion as well, you know, and he fits right into the Arsenal team. I'm not going to lie. Lewis Skelly I like, but again, Lewis Skelly is going to be, is he going to be a backup left back, or is he going to get games? And I think if Lewis Skelly has anything about him, yeah, he moves on. Because the fact that Bruno Guimaraes has been signed, automatically, Lewis Skelly is not going to be first choice in that midfield because Declan Rice is going to play, Guimaraes is going to play, and Odegaard's the captain, and you got 60 million Eze. So automatically, Lewis Skelly has to move on. Marino, again, how's he going to figure in this team? He's probably better as a false nine, but is he going to get game time? Odegaard's the captain. Eze we've spoken about already. You know, if you're Eze, are you going to be happy second season playing back up to Odegaard? I don't believe he will be. Dalman's a young gun as well. So again, Dalman will probably get Carabao Cup games, you know, but he's looked at as the future. I like Ethan Nwaneri. You know, I do like him. But the fact that Nwaneri now has been surplus to requirements because Dalman's come through and Madueke obviously was bought last season as well. I think Nwaneri has to get out of there. Zubamendi we spoke about already. You know, him being bought as a starter number 6, he now has become behind Bruno Guimaraes, Declan Rice. He's now third choice in that centre midfield area. You know, Martinelli and Zolis. Martinelli's toilet for me. He's crap. Zolis is just a replacement for Trossard, who's not better than Trossard. Saka's overrated for me. And again, Saka has played a lot of games. So how is he going to come back this season? Madueke's toilet, you know. Havertz is better than Gyökeres for me as a false 9. But again, he's underwhelming at points. Even though in the Champions League final, I actually thought Havertz was Arsenal's best player. Gyökeres is toilet and Jesus is leaving. So again, this is what I'm trying to say to you. It's good numbers, but not really anyone there that I would say is a special player. This is the problem, you know. So I know a lot of you don't like it, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Let me go through some of your questions and comments as well. There's been quite a lot. Let's see. You don't need to ignore me. I'm only 14. I can't pay for things myself. And memberships do nothing. So who cares? Yeah, listen. I don't give a damn if you're 14. You know what I'm trying to say? Why do I need to care if you're 14? If you're 14, man, you should have known better than to come out with that you can pay for memberships. Better yet, next time, just keep quiet. How about that? You know what I'm trying to say? That's all I'm saying. But don't bring your age into it, man. Like, I respect everyone that comes on. But to bringing up your age into it, you was the one that committed to the to what Exedra said on the other stream. Like, that wasn't me. That was you, innit? So it is what it is, man. And again, when you're saying, just to let you know as well, guys, yeah, when people are saying that I don't have to ignore them, yeah, listen, I appreciate everyone coming in and interacting on the channel because that's what it's about. It's about having football in conversation, yeah. But I'm not obliged to go on to everyone's comments. I go on to people's comments because, again, I'm trying to build a community with you guys, and you guys, I want to be part of it because, as I said, I love football conversation, and if you guys do generally enjoy, having a chat with myself, you know, I enjoy that, but I'm not obliged to go on to everyone's comment. I'm not. Um, I'm not obliged to go into everyone's comment. I go onto the comments that stand out. Again, if you're a member or if you're someone that pays for the chat, that takes priority. But again, I go onto comments that stand out because again, I'm not obliged to go into everyone's comments. So just to let everyone know that, But big up to yourselves each and every time for coming on because it is much appreciated. Um, Kanate always seemed clumsy to me. Yeah, he was. But I think if you look at football right now, yeah, someone like Kanate, he does fit in to this era of football, and that's because he's got physicality and he's got good recovery pace. So again, even if he is clumsy, there's players out there that are clumsy or that are prone to mistakes, and their pace gets them out of a lot of trouble. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, for me, the fact that they've lost Kanate to Madrid and they're going to be getting in Araujo, I think Liverpool might be getting the better end of the deal. They might be, But we'll have to wait and see, innit? We'll definitely have to wait and see. Yeah, listen, I'm looking forward to that. Well, I say I'm looking forward to it, yeah. I want to see because I haven't watched any Man United game this preseason. I'll be honest with you. I've only seen clips, a couple of highlights. But I want to see them against PSG. But again, it's not going to be PSG at full strength. So we'll have to wait and see. So Liverpool fans saying, still think we need 6 players. Reckon we need another centre-back, a right-back, a DM, needed 4 for 4 seasons now. Left wing, right wing, a proper striker. Can't rely on Isak to play. What's WDS/SAT to at least Christmas? Oh, okay, so striker. Yeah, listen, I think, yeah, in terms of striker, we know Liverpool are not going to buy a striker. I think it's irrelevant to say that, yeah, because you spent 100 odd million on Isak, and even, I know Ekatike is out injured, but he cost about over 80 million, I think, as well. So striker, you're not going to get. Another centre-back, I mean, you've got Van Dijk, obviously the captain. If you get Araujo in on loan, Jake's young, Leone, and again, Jake's injured, Leone's injured, Gomez is injured. So the only problem it comes down to, if you get Araujo, do you go and get another centre back? Because if Jake and Leone both become available, if you're looking at getting them guys game time, it's like you can't fit all them players in. So if Liverpool get another couple of the centre backs, then cool, innit? The right back, yeah, I think when they signed Jeremy Frimpong, yeah, because again, if you remember from the start of the season, yeah, I said, and again, I had Jonas on, who was a Liverpool fan as well. I said Liverpool have to go to a 3 at the back because of the players they signed. Jeremy Frimpong played right wing back for Bayer Leverkusen, in a 3. Florian Wirtz played in the 3, and he was your big money signing at the time before Isak, yeah? So just based off of that, they should have played a 3 at the back, which also would have helped out Mo Salah. Because if you've got Jeremy Frimpong's pace on the outside, Mo Salah could have focused on just getting goals, which is what he has been about at Liverpool since he came there, yeah? So I said from the get-go, 3 at the back will suit Liverpool. Now, if they go to a 4, automatically you now have to go and get a right back because Connor Bradley's been out injured, and is there going to be confidence in Connor Bradley being, the first choice right back for the whole season? I don't know. And again, Jeremy Frimpong's not a right back because he's more attacking. So just based on that, you probably would need a right back, which I don't know who you're looking at. There's been talk about Jed Spence as well. Do you go and get Jed Spence? I don't know. A DM, 100% you need one because Ryan Gravenberch is an 8 who can play as a 6, but to play him in his best position, you probably need someone that's going to sit. I don't know who you're looking at, and I also did say, if Liverpool go in for Alex Scott, I believe they get Alex Scott ahead of Man United purely because, Alex Scott's old manager is at Liverpool now, right wing, you signed that Victor Munoz, but if you're looking at a like-for-like replacement for Salah, I kept saying it, guys. Why they haven't looked at Dango Utara, someone that's playing in the Premier League right now at Brentford, or even Yankuba Minte of Brighton. If they're looking at Premier League proven, you've got 2 players there that are playing the Premier League that are left-footed and they can offer a direct threat to what Salah was doing. Although, in terms of goals, they're not going to have Salah's impact on goals. So, yeah, there is positions that they need to do. Left wing, again, you're looking at Barcola, Ibrahim Mbaye as well, who's promising. So, yeah, no, I agree. But if they're going to be getting Araujo, it's a good start, I would say. It is a good start. Uruguayan Van Dijk is a diss. Nah, listen, I don't think he's that bad, man. I think, you know what I mean? I do think Araujo is a good centre back. He hasn't been great in terms of the injuries and the form over the last couple of years, but he's not rubbish, man. He's not rubbish. That's one thing I won't accept. He's not. Sorry, I'm just going through the chat. So City did their main in improving in January, getting Semenyo and Guehi, who vastly improved them, which Anderson will do too. As of now, City will finish above Arsenal. Again, I disagree with this. Yeah, and I'll tell you why I disagree. Semenyo, you could say Semenyo gets numbers. It gets goals, you would say. But in terms of how City have played over the past, with the likes of, all you got to look at is the wide players that they employ, yeah? Semenyo doesn't fit that because Semenyo is not a great footballer. But what he will probably improve in a sense is that if Erling Haaland's not getting goals, you could probably rely on Semenyo to get numbers or to get goals. And when I say numbers, he's not going to get Erling Haaland numbers, so I'll change it to goals, yeah? But he improves them in a different way, but then, he diminishes what City have been about ever since Pep took over. So just based on that, I would say he only improves them if you're looking at goal-wise. But in terms of football-wise, he takes them backwards, Anton Semenyo. And again, Elliot Anderson, I spoke about earlier, if Rodri leaves, the pressure will be on Anderson, no matter who agrees or not. Because when you're signing someone for 116 million, there's no bedding in period. That player has to come in and do it straight away. Now, if you watch Elliot Anderson in the World Cup, he struggled. He struggled for England in the World Cup. So to think that, he's gonna improve City, well, let's see if Rodri stays. Because if Rodri leaves, there's a massive gap in that midfield, which Anderson will play, but the pressure comes onto Elliot Anderson. So let's wait and see. Madueke is what, Gav? Yeah, he's toilet, man. He's toilet. He's rubbish. He's rubbish. I remember someone saying Gyökeres, big up to Fitz. I remember someone saying Gyökeres will be a beast in his second season. Listen. Gyökeres being a beast. Boy, listen. That guy's terrible. I know people want to start saying he was part of a title winning season. You know, again, there's an asterisk next to that. You know. But let me tell you this for free, yeah? Arteta's going to start Havertz ahead of Gyökeres next season. You've heard it here first. If Havertz stays fit, he'll get more game time as a starter than Gyökeres. You've heard it here first. So this beast, boy, he might be a beast in training, man, but I don't know if he's going to be that on the pitch, put it that way. I think Gyökeres personally will get more game time off the bench. Madueke is Arsenal's Ryan Babel. Nope. You can't disrespect Ryan Babel like that. You know what I mean? Ryan Babel had talent. Madueke is a runner. That's it. Souness went in on Rice. Just a good athletic player, nothing more. And you know what? I'm glad someone's mentioned this, yeah? I'm glad. You know why I'm glad someone's mentioned this? Because João Pedro's got 2, yeah? You know what gets on my nerves, yeah? Is that because Graham Souness has now been saying that, all of a sudden, it's fashionable. You know, I was telling you this about Rice from ages ago. But now, because Graham Souness has said it, it's like, oh, because Souness has said it, we now have to take note of it. Again, these guys are just late to the party. Like, that's all it is. So Graham Souness saying Rice is nothing more, just a good athletic player. I've been telling you this for time, for ages. So, again, it's not really a surprise. And I don't really listen to Graham Souness anyway. Graham Souness is late to the party. Because people out there will have you believe that Declan Rice is the best midfielder in the world. People will have you out there believing that. Declan Rice is just an athlete. Just like Jude Bellingham. That's it. They're just athletes. And again, people don't want to understand. You know, I've been going back and forth, guys, on Twitter, yeah? You know, and I've got people telling me that Kylian Mbappe and Jude Bellingham are more talented than João Felix. They're more talented, these people are saying. And again, if you know what talent is, you won't be saying that. You know what I'm trying to say? They're telling me that they're more talented than João Felix. More talented. This is what you're dealing with. So when Graham Souness is saying, yeah, that Rice is just athletic, well, yeah, that's what he is. He's an athlete. that's literally what he is, an athlete. Because if Declan Rice was playing in Spain, let's say, they wouldn't rate what he's doing. That's the fact. He only gets rated what he's doing in this country because we already know what this country is built off in terms of football. Blood, sweat and tears. That's it. You know? So, yeah, it's not really rocket science what Graham Souness is saying, man. It's just use your eyes. You know what I mean? I hope biting is in the Uruguayan DNA. Boy, somehow, man, I don't think he's gonna follow in Luis Suarez's footsteps, man. I don't think he is. Big up to Fitz, man. What's that? 1 kick away from a Champions League, you mean? Yeah, but that kick wasn't even on target. Big up Fitz, man. There you go. There you go, man. 3-0 Chelsea, you know, against AC. João Pedro 2, Moises Caicedo. Another midfielder better than Declan Rice. Listen. Yeah, look at, man. It's crazy out here. So what's this? Saliba is world-class and Arsenal's only undeniable world-class player. Raya and Rice debatable. Well, David Raya's not world-class. He's not. He's a very good keeper, but why is he world class? I remember a certain somebody was telling me that David Raya will be starting for Spain. They were adamant David Raya was starting for Spain in the World Cup. I told you he was never starting. I told you he was never starting. And for that fact as well, he was third choice. So, you know. And Declan again, what do we deem as world class? This is the argument. Because this world class tag gets thrown about, you know, and it's one of them things for me that what do we base world class off? Because if we was to base world class off who gets into a world 11, then Arsenal probably have, I would argue and say, one player that gets into a world class 11, and that's probably Gabriel, a defender. That's it. And even that, yeah, I don't think Gabriel gets in because I think William Pacho's better than Gabriel Magalhaes. There you go. So Arsenal probably don't even have one player that gets into a world 11 because William Pacho, for me, is better than Gabriel Magalhaes. He is. So this is what I'm trying to say to you. What do we deem as world class? You know, is Saliba world class? Probably on the periphery of world class. On the periphery, I would say. Looking forward to the watchalongs. Yeah, listen, watchalongs will be coming back, man. Obviously, start of the season. I'll see how much I'm gonna do with them. But yeah, I'll definitely be doing them, no doubt. But there you go. Ryan Babel was a lot better than Madueke. To say that Madueke is the English Ryan Babel, I don't think you watch Ryan Babel. And you know what? This is a piece of advice, let's say advice, yeah, of a eye opener, yeah. You do realize that Ryan Babel was actually a striker, yeah. The same like Anthony Martial. These guys were strikers, but Ryan Babel got converted to playing on the left hand side. But Babel was actually a striker. Go and check Ryan Babel when he played for Ajax. Have a check where he played. You know what I'm saying? So. Gab, what are your predictions for the Premier League? In terms of what? Big up to Foxy Danny. In terms of what? What? Who wins the league? Who finishes where? Do you see it as ideal for Liverpool to get rid of Gakpo? Yeah? I think if they sign Barcola, then Gakpo has to go, really. So I think a lot of it's going to depend on if they sign Barcola, you know, which looks likely. So yeah, if Barcola does sign, then I think Gakpo definitely goes. Yeah. Gyökeres is not toilet. He's just a square peg in a round hole for Arsenal. He will look better playing for other Premier League teams. What other Premier League teams will he look better playing for? Name them. Name them. Because there's no way in hell I'd have him at Man United. So that's one. Man City will go nowhere near him. Chelsea would go nowhere near him. Liverpool wouldn't. You know. So who are these other teams? Like, who are these other teams? Gyökeres is rubbish, man. I don't want to hear nothing else. He's rubbish. He's rubbish. Arsenal looked better when he wasn't playing. That's the fact. You know. So, yeah, I'm not sure who these other teams are. If these other teams, name them. Please name them. What's this? Because they're racist. What's that all about? Am I missing something here? I'm just going through some of the comments, guys, just seeing what ones. Bentner 2.0. You know what? That's a great shout, Mickey, man. That's a great shout. That, you know what? That is what Gyökeres is. He's Bentner 2.0. But you know what? Bentner was actually better than him. That's how bad it is. Bentner was actually better than Gyökeres. Yeah. You know what? That's a great shout, man. Souness was a baller. Boy, in comparison to who though? That's what I want to know. Who was in his... Let us know who was in his era, man. To me, he was a hatchet man. He wasn't no baller to me, man. He was a hatchet man. He was aggressive, you know, and he was someone that used to put out fires, I would say. Like, I don't call them ballers. I just call them players that were doing a job. Like, he was a hatchet man. That's what I would say, man. You know what I'm trying to say? Hatchet man, Souness. And a terrible pundit as well. Chat's going mad up in there. Max Dowman, the youngest ever to score in Prem history. Yeah, listen, I hear it, man. But Max Dowman's next path now is to get regular football. Is he going to get that? That's the question. Is he going to get that this season? Boy, the Barbel and Madueke is going mad. Listen, who was the one that said Madueke is the English Barbel, Ryan Barbel? Because again, yeah, that is disrespectful, I would say, because there's no way that Madueke can be compared to Ryan Barbel. No way. Because Ryan Barbel had ability. Madueke is just a direct winner, a direct winger that doesn't know where the white line is. That's all he is. Oh yeah, guys, just to let you know as well, yeah. If there's any Arsenal fans that want to jump on a stream with myself, yeah. So I want to try and make it a regular one. So again, I'm thinking a Tuesday or a Wednesday, having a regular stream when the season starts. If there's any Arsenal fans that want to jump on, you know, and you know, we can have a discussion about Arsenal and their prospects for this season. So yeah, if there's any Arsenal fans that want to jump on with a stream myself, let me know, guys. Let me know. So I'm looking to try and schedule things a bit better for next season. So for those of you that aren't aware, on Mondays, it's going to be myself, Fitz, and Jonas. Obviously, Jonas is a Liverpool fan. So 5 p.m. every Monday when the season starts, we're going to be live. Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll be reacting to... you know, the talking points of the week. So that'll be a solo stream. And then obviously the Wednesday or a Tuesday, if there's an Arsenal fan that wants to jump on, or even any other fan of any club that wants to jump on. Thursday, me and Fitz are going to be doing our pure Manchester United stream, which might be an evening one at 8 p.m. So yeah, we'll be doing, instead of us doing our all-time 11 on the Thursday, it's going to be literally Manchester United talk. Friday, I'll be doing a live Q&A. You know, that might be an evening one as well. So that is literally just you guys asking me any questions. It hasn't got to be football related. It can be anything. A live Q&A. That'll be subscribers only. Saturday will be every other Saturday. We'll be doing our all-time 11, myself and Fitz. So yeah, that'll be the schedule, guys, for when the season starts, which is I think in 3 weeks' time. So just a heads up. But yeah, I'll be sorting out the time. So a lot of the times will be dedicated times. So yeah, gonna make this schedule a bit more consistent now in terms of the times and the days. So yeah, just something for you guys to have a look out for. Gyökeres is a goal hanger who takes pens. I can't even disagree with that. I can't even disagree. Yeah, listen. When Man United were linked to Gyökeres, yeah, I was praying we didn't sign him. Praying we didn't sign him because, yeah. And listen, I know people will say, well, he was part of the team that won the league. Listen, I don't want that guy nowhere near my lineup. He is poor. He's poor, man. Honestly, he's poor. By them standards, I agree. He was a hatchet man. Yeah, listen. He was no Sergio Busquets. So when I think of ballers, yeah, I'm comparing DMs to a Busquets. You know what I'm trying to say? And yeah, man, he was a hatchet man. A hatchet man that thought he was tough. That's all it is. That's all it is. Graham Souness. Now listen, Souness was a baller too. Saw him play live, and he'd run games week in, week out. A hatchet man was Steve McMahon. Scandalous to say Souness wasn't a baller. But listen, Tall Paul, yeah? Tall Paul. The very fact that you said that Noni Madueke is the English Ryan Babel, I can't take this comment seriously because, as I said, you're entitled to your opinion, man. But I'm not quite sure what games you're watching because that comment there, I can't take the Souness one seriously, you know, because Madueke compared to Ryan Babel is poor, personally, you know. Clock enders, you're on it, yeah? Listen, let me know, man. Let me know. Because that's going to be fire. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be fire, man, because I know you're a vivid Arsenal fan and you're not going to hear anything negative on Arsenal. But let me tell you this now. Make sure you bring the tissues, man, for your tears. Bring the tissues. But yeah, no, listen, it would be good, man. It's not going to be just a shouting match. That's not going to happen because I'll just mute him. But now, listen, it's going to be a good conversation, man. So as I said, I'm looking to do that on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. So just let me know what sort of time you can do and what day, and then I'll schedule that in. Steve Nicol and Ronnie Whelan. I remember Steve Nicol. Is he still on, what's that? Is he still on ESPN? You should stream with Arcade Veteran. Who the hell is that? Guys, anyone know Arcade Veteran? Never heard of him. Never heard of him. Well, who does he support? Arcade Veteran. Gavin Clockenders is the weekly show we all need. Yeah, listen. It'll be good. It'll be good, innit? It'll be good. You know, I'll take Clockenders back to school, man. I'll take him to school and let him answer for his sins. Because don't think I've forgotten, yeah? Bukayo Saka is the best right winger in the world. Don't think I've forgotten that. Team news is out for United, PSG. What's the team? Anyone got the team? If anyone's got the team, put that in the chat, guys, please. Missing the point, Gav. Bud said over and over, Babel had buckets of talent, but he very rarely used it or was even given the chance to use it. Madueke has talent too, but he never uses it. Now, listen. Listen. Tall Paul, I understand what you're saying, yeah? But for me, Madueke isn't talented. That's the point. Like Madueke for me has just got he's an athlete, but Ryan Babel had talent. So my whole thing is now, yeah, if you're gonna compare Ryan Babel, you know, comparing him with saying that Madueke is like Ryan Babel, I don't agree because I don't agree that Madueke has anywhere near the talent of what Ryan Babel did. That's my point. That's my point. If you're gonna compare Madueke to Gabriel Martinelli because both of them have pace, both direct. That's my kind of thinking into it. You know what I'm trying to say? So Arcade Veteran supports Liverpool. Listen, if anyone's a fan of different teams, man, and they want to jump on the stream and talk proper football, then listen, yeah, tell them, man. Tell them I'm here, man, because I like conversation in it. You know what I mean? So if you think this Arcade Veteran will be good to stand the test of time, let him know, man. Let him know. Gav goes in it. Let him know. To be fair, both you man have incredible ball knowledge. Will be a sick show. Yeah, listen, it will be. It will be. But we still got to question him on the Bukayo Saka being the best right winger in the world. You know. But listen, nice. It makes for good content, man. And as I said, yeah. So yeah, clock enders, just let me know, man. Tuesday or Wednesday for the new season, and we'll get that scheduled in. Don't back out now, though. Right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up in a couple of minutes because I'm gonna get oops, missed my mouth, man. Shit. Because I'm gonna watch this game at 4 o'clock, but I'm gonna get something to eat, man. I'm hungry. I need something to eat, man. And then I'm gonna go enjoy this weather after the game. Guys, anyone got the Man United? Okay, here we go. Big up Exedra. Big up, my guy. So Heath, me, Amas, Armour, Dallo, Yoro, Fernandez, Fletcher, Tillemans. Hey, Xerxes starting. Xerxes starting, yeah? All right. Gav, I'll jump on in the future, definitely with you and Fitz. Yeah, my guy, no worries, man. As I said, every Thursday come the start of the season, it's going to be literally a Man United stream with me and Fitz. It's pure Man United talk. So, again, yeah, if you want to jump on, then, as I said, man, yeah, that's cool. So, Tillemans, yeah, Xerxes, Tillemans, Fletcher, Fernandez, Yoro, Dallo, Armour, Amas, me and Heath. I mean, obviously not the strongest team, but listen, good to see Xerxes starting. We got a resident Scouser in Jonas, but he could use the backup. Emotional support. I hear it, man. I hear it. Listen, Jonas last season was on the ropes, man. I thought my man was going to cry, you know, at times. But he hung in there, put it that way. He hung in there. But, yeah, his team... Yeah, I'm not sure, but they're making some moves, man. It has to be said, man, in this window. So, anyone got the PSG team? I don't think PSG are gonna be at full strength, innit? Search him up. He's a streamer and he does watchalongs. I'll be honest, man. I ain't gotta search him up. Just if you can get in his chat or whatever, tell him Gav goes in. You know, if he wants to do a stream. And let him holler me, man. But yeah, no, I'm not going to search him up. I'll be honest. Question for you. Overrated player in the Prem. Mine is Mason Mount. Boy, mine is... So, again, I would say in the Prem and I'll say in world football. So the most overrated player in the Premier League is Bruno Fernandes, and the most I don't look at Mason Mount because I don't look at Mason Mount as a footballer. So the most overrated player in the Premier League is Bruno Fernandes, and the most overrated player in world football is Jude Bellingham. Oh, that's the bench. Ah, you're killing me, Zedra. Let me see the lineup then. You're killing me. Where's the lineup? Oh, okay, my bad. Heaton, Mazraoui, Maguire, Heaven, Shaw, Santos, Mount, Ahmad, Lacey, Dorgu, and Mbeumo. Yeah, decent team, man. Decent team. I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I don't like seeing Mbeumo play through the middle, yeah. But I suppose in this system he's probably best suited to play in there at the moment. But I don't really like seeing Mbeumo through the middle, man. You know, I think if Man United's best team for me, he'll be on the bench, Mbeumo. He would as an impact sub. But yeah, that team there, yeah, I think they should be. Yeah, my bad. I wasn't even reading it properly. Let's see. Nah, Tillerman's not overrated. You're mad. He's not overrated. Yeah, big up yourself. So PSG, Safanov, Bolly, Zabani, Pacho, Kukaka, Dro. That Dro used to be at Barcelona. Lucas Beraldo, Mayulu, Ibrahim Mbai. Oh, hey, listen, they got a good team out. Ayari? That's not Ayari from Brighton, is it? No, it can't be. And Kavrat Skelia. To be fair, it should be a good game, you know. Should be a good game. That Ibrahim Mbai, man, is a very good player. Very good player. Linked to Liverpool. Yeah, exactly. You must bear in mind, I'm not even seeing the comment yet, but exactly what I said. That's not Ayari from Brighton. It can't be. They didn't sign him. He's a very good player, though. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm just catching up on the chat. So some of you might have actually answered already. Yeah, Zabani used to be at Bournemouth. Anderson is overrated at 116 mil, 100%. Yep. Does Yuri get into Arsenal's squad? Yeah, he does. Of course he does. Yuri Tillemans, yeah. Yuri Tillemans could start for can start for Arsenal. The difference is he doesn't fit what Arsenal do. So again, it's a different question. Is he good enough to play in Arsenal's midfield? 100% he is. But with what Arsenal are trying to do in that midfield, that he doesn't fit. But there's a difference, you know what I'm trying to say? Tillemans can have a good game in here and there, but not consistent. I don't know. I disagree with that. I disagree. I disagree with that. I think Yuri Tillemans, you know, was instrumental in Villa getting into the Champions League and winning the Europa League as well. He's a very good player. And the fact that we got him for 35 million, listen, that's a steal. You'd have to say, yeah, in terms of Premier League acquisitions, that's probably been one of the best bit of businesses that's been done. Because if Yuri Tillemans didn't have that release clause, you're looking at easily 80 million for him. And the funny thing is, what Arsenal paid for Bruno Guimaraes, if there was no release clause in there for Yuri Tillemans, you're paying that amount for him. So, again, listen, Arsenal won the league. We all know what went on. You know what I'm trying to say? I haven't even got to get into it. It's done now. You know, Arsenal's name is on the trophy. We all know that. But anyone apart from Arsenal fans is gonna know, yeah, that the season that Arsenal won the league, that there was a lot of things that went in their way, that wouldn't ever happen again. This is what I'm trying to say to you. For me, yeah, the title right now is vacant. You know what I'm trying to say? It's vacant. I don't look at Arsenal as winning that league. Yeah, I don't look at them as winning that league. And for me, it would be more impressive if Arsenal was to win the league this season. You know what I'm trying to say? It'd be more impressive if they win the league this season. If they win the league this season, Arsenal, listen, I'd say, do you know what? Fair enough. But for me, the asterisks will always be there. You know, cry all you want. How old is he? 30, 80 mil, nah. Bruno G is 75. Bruno G. Nah, Yuri Tillemans Yuri Tillemans, I think, is 28 or 29. So he's the same age, more or less, as Bruno Guimaraes. So again, if he didn't have the release clause, he'll go for the same amount. He would. Man United got him for 35 million because of the release clause. Like, if there's anyone that thinks he wouldn't go for 80 million, then I'm sorry to tell you that that's not true. He would have gone for the same price that Arsenal have paid for Bruno Guimaraes because they're the same age. That's what it is. Bruno's 10 times the player than him. 10 times the player than who? Than Yuri Tillemans. I disagree. You're only doing that off of numbers. And this is what it comes back down to. This is what it comes back down to. Bruno's not 10 times the player of Yuri Tillemans. He's not. Like, he just isn't. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, listen. Listen. If you think Tillemans wouldn't have cost 80 million, how much do you think he would have cost if the release clause wasn't there? If Tillemans never had the release clause, how much do you think he would have cost? Come on, answer the question. If 55 mil no higher, yeah, you're smoking. So you actually think, yeah, Tillemans would have cost 55 mil or between 35 and 45 if the release clause wasn't there. Yeah, and you actually expect me to take that seriously. I know you're trolling anyway. It's cool, man. I know you're trolling. We'll move past that. We'll move past that. You know what I mean? Let's not forget you guys bought Madueke for 60 mil, but yet you think Tillemans would go for less than 55. Yeah, listen. You guys need help, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up anyway. I'm going to wrap it up. Wait a minute. Oh, do you know what? I'm thinking that the time is a lot. It's actually 3 o'clock now. Yeah. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up, man. But yeah, listen, big up to everyone coming on as usual. You know, make sure you smash that like button on your way out. Make sure you sub to the channel as well if you're new in here. And as I said, come the start of the season, there will be more structure, obviously, to the streams. As I said, literally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's going to be content every day, you know what I'm trying to say? So there will be, obviously, I've got to sort out the times, innit? You know? Are you big up to Exedra? Going to get a little workout in, yeah? Yeah, big up, man. Big up yourself. Yeah, listen, I'm gonna give it a weekend rest, man, for the first time in ages. But yeah, guys, make sure as well, if you're not a member, yeah, there is some content that I did put up yesterday. So big up to everyone that did come in yesterday and watch the you know, I put my boots back on for the first time in a year. So yeah, there is something for you guys as being part of a member on the channel, if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, listen, big up to everyone, as I say, coming on. And yeah, there will be structure, as I said, come the start of the season with the streams. So keep an eye out for that one. And listen, Araujo going to Liverpool. I'll be honest, I think that's good business for Liverpool. I know some of you don't really see the benefit of them getting him. But I actually think he might be a good signing for them, on loan. And let's see if they actually make it a permanent, depending on his season. So, and obviously Man United, listen, we're playing today at 4 o'clock against PSG. I expect us to probably win that game, if I'm honest. But all eyes are going to be on this transfer window to see who else we get over the line. I'm for 1 year, I'm so bored of guessing and talking about it. I just want to see Man United act accordingly. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, let's see what happens. But other than that, guys, if I don't speak to you guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And yeah, enjoy the game today as well at 4 o'clock. And yeah, as I said, we'll be back. I'll be back next week. Not sure what time yet. Probably be a 12:30 one probably on Monday. But again, if any news drops, guys, any transfers drops, any major transfers, then yeah, I'll be reacting to it on the live. Yeah, big up, man. Big up to Tall Paul as well, man. We didn't see eye to eye on a lot of the things, but this is what it's about, man. But yeah, big up to yourself for your contribution today as well. And yeah, guys, we'll catch you guys.